Hello everyone, this is Collector of All Things, and today we're back with another review of a Hot Toys. I know if you've been watching my other videos, I mentioned how I was going away from Hot Toys. I had picked up an incredible Hot Toys. I really liked it. I think they do incredible work, but I find the scale to be rather large, and me being the collector of all things, I don't have a lot of place to put them. So I had done a wish list video recently. In the video, I mentioned how I really liked the Netflix Daredevil. I was pining after the Mezco version, which as of this recording, still hasn't come out yet. I had never imagined owning the Hot Toys one because, like I said, I myself wasn't planning on picking up any more Hot Toys. However, this was a gift from my wife. I am so happy I got it. That out of the way, let's take a look and see exactly what we got here. First thing I want to mention, of course, is the box in the background. You have a slip cover on this side that comes off, and you have that great artwork of the figure right there with Marvel Daredevil written. What's neat is Daredevil, of course, being a blind superhero, they added in a little bit of braille on the box, which is really cool, and it does spell out Daredevil. And then under the slipcover, what normally on the front side of this, you'll have the see-through that shows when you open the figure is packed inside. This is the back part. I wanted to show that because these are the people that are responsible for the figure. And I like the artwork with the little cityscape. I think they did a great job with that. One other thing I do want to mention is the figure comes with, of course, this incredible base, and I'll talk about that in a second. Also, I want to mention that the figure does come with this backdrop. This seems to be something that they do with the Netflix characters. The Punisher also has one too. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's nice they include it in for someone who wants to use it. You got these like little, it's made out of cardboard. You got these little connectors here to be able to do it. Honestly, I love the figure so much the way it is that I'm not putting that with it. But, you know, they include it in. As for accessories, with Hot Toys, you get multiple hands. So you have these two hands here, which are the fisted hands where he's ready to fight. And then you have a couple of these like more open, relaxed hands like that. Of course, you have another one that's like for holding. So that one there, more like fisted open, so you can put something inside an object. And you have another one over here, so you've got your left and your right. And these are incredibly detailed. They look phenomenal. Now, these ones, the holding ones, hold, of course, accessories like his baton here. So his fighting sticks, that this one is together. As you can see right here in his holster, I have the separate ones, and we'll look at that a little bit closer. And it also comes with two attached by a rope, which he can, you know, be throwing at somebody, which is really cool, and use it as a nunchuck or whatever. I think that's cool. So it comes in different forms. Would it have been nice that maybe they had one that detached where the rope was inside and you could pull it out and make something of it, or maybe this one where it would detach and go back together. It would be a neat thing, but you know what, when you're posing it, I don't think it matters whether it opens or closes, you know, attaches or detaches like this, because, you know, they do give you this one, they give you this one, and they give you the one that's separated. So you can get all your action poses in, you can do what you want. The figure also comes with two faces. So you have the one that's on him right now, which we'll take a closer look. And you have this one right here, which is more like his closed mouth, just looking face. But the detail is just, I mean, it's pure Hot Toys. I think it's at this level, at this price range, this size, this articulation, this workmanship. Honestly, I don't think you can touch Hot Toys. There are a lot of companies coming close. There are a lot of companies copying them, but getting this close, this is Hot Toys. You also get a couple of arm pegs just in case when you're pulling the hands off or putting them on, the wrist pegs, I should say, and they break, you can replace them. So now that we got the accessories out of the way, let's talk about the figure itself. Actually, before we do that, I did say I was going to talk about the base. I love the base. I think the base is beautiful. You have Daredevil written on the bottom, Marvel Daredevil, and it's kind of like what do you want to call that? Asphalt. Yeah, it's like asphalt with a a little bit of liquid or something like that. It's really well done. Now, I've heard some gripes, and I tend to agree and disagree. The base comes in three parts. So you get like this part here, which is phenomenal sculpt, looks really good. It's like a broken pipe. You got a couple of bricks back here. The bricks look amazing. You got what looks like shattered glass. And then this here, if you look at it, I mean, it's a drain on the side of a road. Very, very nice. So basically, if you look at it, he's standing in the middle of the road on this base right here, and this would be the sidewalk, I guess. So he's jaywalking. But I think they do a great job. Now, some of the gripes I have is not I have, but I've heard is that when you look at it, these don't match up very well. So the way they fixed it is they came up with this, which is basically just a plain block of plastic that's a spacer to raise it up so that you can have that seam that you're looking for. Now, some people said, why didn't they just mold it the way it should have been molded? Why not get the proper height the way you should? You know what? I don't really, it doesn't bother me how they did it. There must be a reason behind it. They did it the way that they did it. And you know what? It still works. When I have it on display, you don't really see that black spacer. It looks phenomenal the way it is right now. So honestly, I like the stand. The stand is the typical Hot Toys stand in the back that holds from the crotch. You can adjust the height of it. There's no action stand with them. That's another gripe I heard, that perhaps, because Daredevil being that type of guy will jump and jump from one building to another building or jump down on the bad guys and then start fighting with them, that perhaps he should have had some kind of action stand. It is what it is. I pose him like this. I think this is, if you've watched it, I mean, look at that. If you've watched Netflix Daredevil, I think this is like the iconic pose for Daredevil. And look at the face sculpt itself. I mean, if we just here, let's go a little freehand. All right. And if you just take a look at this face, the blood and oh, wow, they just did a really phenomenal job of making him look like he's been in combat. And I mean, this is just, wow. I mean, look at the teeth. All right, let's get into, see if we can get some focus here. Wow. That is just, gotta get him in there. And the eyes almost seem a little translucent, like you're actually looking through. Look at that, you see that? That you can actually see right through it, and you can almost see his eyes poking through. I mean, that is just, Hot Toys, what are you doing to me? I mean, I want to leave and you pull me back again. And like I said, I got this as a gift, but look at the material on the suit. I mean, in the right light, this is, you think you're looking at the actor. Look at that. His batons, and they do come out. This is, a holster for it. And then, of course, when posing him, he's very articulate. Does the suit hamper a little bit of his articulation? Yeah, of course, because the suit, the materials that it's made out of. But you can get him into great poses. And I think I played with this for a while to get him in a pose that I was looking for until I got him into this one. And honestly, I don't want to move him because it took me a while to get all the creases and crinkles the way that I wanted it. I'm kind of like one of those perfectionists, and I want it to look like he was actually getting ready to, defend himself like he did, of course, in the show. So I think he looks spectacular. There's been some other discussion about the fact that when you look at him, the body type to the head looks a little disproportionate. At least some people are saying that. You know what? I don't see it. I really don't. Excuse me. I really don't. I see the actor. I've been looking at pictures very closely just to take a look and see how good Hot Toys was. And that's me. I'm a fanatic. I need to know if they did a good job. And I have to tell you, look at that. Look at the buttons. Look at the patch. I mean, come on. Seriously, if people have a problem with this figure, I don't know what you're looking for. Honestly, I don't. And I mean, look at the stitching and the sewing. Nice armor top. This actually comes off, the top part. That's how you change the face. So you just pull it off and then you just take the face off. You put the new face in and you pop it back on. But just a phenomenal figure. Look, I mean, that's incredible. All right, so let me go back to a more stable image because this thing, I'm probably shaking a little bit. Let's go back to a more stable image. So there, look at that. I mean, this is just a utterly phenomenal figure. And I have now my Iron Man, which I think is great. I think they do an awesome job. Hot Toys seems to get Robert Downey Jr. sculpt down perfectly. And I recently, if you saw my last video on Hot Toys, I got the Trooper from the new Star Wars film, and the First Order Trooper. And now I have this one, and I think this one's my favorite. I think the skill that went into creating this incredible figure is phenomenal. And you can literally pose any way you want. Like I said, I'm going to be that guy who doesn't want to move the figure because it took me a while to get him to look the way I want to look. And I'm going to keep him like this. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this figure. I think that if you're a fan of the Netflix show, if you are a fan of Daredevil, this is a must-have. So I really hope you like the look at this Daredevil from Hot Toys, the Netflix version. And if you did, don't forget to put a like. I want to thank all my subscribers. You guys, thank you very much for taking the time to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little chime to make sure, when new content pops up, you can see it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.